Right. Hello, everybody. This is an impromptu, unannounced live because it's a special day today. Numerically, it adds up to 777. It's a gateway of opportunities. And I just felt like going live here. I needed to get all of the work done. I'm like, if I can get the daily card reading done before 7:07, then I'll do it. And I pulled a card and I got the Seven of Pentacles. So the spirit realm wanted me to come live tonight. So here I am, folks. It's good to see all of you. I hope that many of you, you're already into your weekend here, that things are going well. Thank you for joining, especially everybody that is subscribed and opted into notifications. This is the reason why sometimes I go live unannounced. I hope you all are doing well. I put up a little poll here to see how many of us were kind of even tuned into the fact that there was something going on. It looks like it's about 1/3, and the rest of us probably were just going about the day. So what we're going to do today in this impromptu is basically just pull 3 cards, take a look at past, present, and future. I want to kind of get a pulse on what the energy is. And then I'll see how all of you are doing in chat, see if there's anything that we want to do. I want to try to keep this maybe to like, 10 minutes or so, just kind of checking in. Maybe we'll keep it on the 7, so 14 or 21 minutes, depending on what's coming through. All right, let's take a look now and see what's energetically coming through today. Again, if you add up the year, that's where the third 7 comes from. But 777 at 7:07 seemed auspicious. Okay, we're going to do 2 cards in the past that came through. Okay, some exciting cards here. So we're going to look at the past energy first. So this is energetically, karmically, what we might need to sort of let go of, what lessons may be present that could either block us or amplify whatever it is that we're doing. So there are 2. Let's just pull them in the upright position because they're both pretty good. The Queen of Swords in the upright position, she came through reverse, would be strong, bold, communicative, decisive, action-oriented. In the reverse state, sometimes she has to really just pick or choose. I'm getting discernment, actually, as I look at this one. What she realizes is sometimes you can't put on kid gloves. Sometimes you have to just speak up, and sometimes you just have to take action. So in this moment in time, rather than choosing just the path of diplomacy or pleasing everyone or taking everything in, this day in particular, and kind of oozing into the weekend as well, because it's already evening. I would say it's important for you to take some action, to plant some seeds. If you've been saying, I want to do this, I'm thinking about this, etc., etc., she's coming through and she's saying, let's do it. All right. So karmically, energetically, the first sort of pulse check from the universe is a reality check, and it's asking you basically accountability. Are you accountable to your goals and to your dreams? If not, what's delaying them? Where's the hesitation from? Why? We have a really beautiful card that came beneath it, and it's reminding you don't have to do this alone. This is one of the most beautiful 4 of Wands, actually. We don't always see a couple in the 4 of Wands. Sometimes it's just the 4 of Wands, which is holding space. The card in reverse could indicate that for some of you, there is hesitation, worry, or even sometimes a confidence issue with reaching out and saying, I need some help. So if you ask for help, if you reach out, you may be surprised at, just how much support comes through. So taking action, asking for help. Not being afraid to do that, knowing that sometimes people are just waiting for you to ask for help, right? I know it's easier said than done sometimes, right? But anyway, that's the first step. Let me just check in on the poll here and see how all of you are doing too. Hopefully as we go through this, you'll feel a little bit better. By the way, thanks for everybody that is giving back a little bit with super stickers. I'll give you a little bit of extra thanks at the end. All right, checking on the second card here in the present. This is what today is all about. This is why you tuned in and you clicked on the live. Knight of Pentacles is great. It is advancement of material sort of ideas and wealth and objects and bringing things into the material world. Reminds me of that old Sting and Police song. So this is your chance to actually plant that seed and see it grow. So this weekend, this is the present. It's not just 7/7. It's going to be the next few days. Can't wait to see what the energy on Sunday when we do the normal live stream is going to be like. But this is saying things can take off. This afternoon when I did the card for tomorrow, it was the Two of Swords reversed. And I was already getting sort of like opening and unblocking because, by the way, folks, some cards are better reversed. Two of Swords reversed is better than Two of Swords upright because it's revelation. It's starting to kind of come through the mental fog. And I think for some of you now, because of that lessening that I even saw for tomorrow, you're going to see things move into a more positive trajectory. I like that we have a cow or a bull on this one, bullish on the future, also very grounded energy. Some of my Taurans out there are saying, we're ready, let's do this. So really, really love that. By the way, if you want to see all of the cards, you can go to my website. I'll put a link there. This is Tarot of the Divine, and it's listed on the link that I put there. So it's a beautiful deck, right? This is one that's kind of indie, I think, as well. All right, so for those that just joined, let's talk about what we've been through, and then we're going to go into the future energy. So we talked about the resistance. There were two things that were kind of showing some resistance. One could be simply in taking some action here, because we had the Queen of Swords coming through reverse, and she's saying, let's get it started. And you don't have to do it alone. So there could be a little bit of resistance in asking for help. In the present, it's simply about planting a seed, putting it down on paper, saying it out loud, really kind of committing to it, and then following through. And now as we go to the future state, we have Judgment. Judgment is one of my favorite cards in tarot, but this is a kind of unusual illustration of it, so I might pull the traditional one up while we're talking here. But Judgment is the card of rebounding. It's coming back. Like it's a second chance card, reinvention, reimagining. And it's also sort of this moment for you to just say, yeah, let's do this. Here's your traditional Judgment card. So it's answering the call. We have Archangel Gabriel in the background saying, now is the time. We have souls rising from the dead saying, yes, something is over, but something better is beginning. And things get elevated and better from here. And if something's done, you can always rewrite your future. The history, the past, we can't rewrite it. We can contextualize it, we can understand it, we can embrace it. But this is your blank slate, and this is the exciting piece. And now is time to basically for you to align a little bit closer to what it is that truly has been sort of calling you in and calling for your attention. Okay? Let me go to a different Oracle card deck while we're doing this, and I want to see how you can unblock yourself. I'll let the cards sort of sit there for a second. And let me see what's calling to me over here for some advice. This is super impromptu, so much so that I'm just randomly kind of pulling some cards. So this one, I'm going to use one of Kim Krantz's decks here. This is the Unknown Archetypes. I actually have the new one, but I need to read up on it a little bit. So I will check that out and maybe have that ready for the weekend. All right, so let's take a look now at what I want to kind of focus on is the key to success in an Oracle deck here. This is exactly what I was talking about, by the way. I love this deck, but there's always they stick together. When I was saying for today's Two of Swords reading, which by the way, you can click on after this, the daily card reading for Saturday, I said what is said and unsaid or seen and unseen is just as important. So you need to kind of go beneath the surface. And of course, this is also very third eye. And from a distance, you can see it a little better. What's cool about this is if you get super close, it's like those old dot matrix printers from the 90s, 80s and 90s, or inkjet printers. We don't really worry about that anymore because they don't exist. But you can't see all of the details when you're really, really close. But the further you get, the more sort of perspective you get, the more things come into focus. So take some time this weekend to meditate, to take a hike, to change up the routine. That's exactly what I was talking about with the Two of Swords reversed. Through the change in routine comes epiphanies, comes a reset, comes clarity. And I think that's the first thing. Some of you might also be opening up intuitively a little bit, but it is about not doing what's obvious. Get perspective, think outside of the box, try some different things. And that's what's also going to draw people to you because it's not the same old, same old. And then we have the ring. It's commitment, folks. We've been talking about this, with the Queen of Swords. She came through and she said, "Are you committed?" So this is really putting some, putting your signature on the dotted line and saying to yourself, "I keep this contract with myself," right? And I'm looking at some of the other, yes, you're right. There's also, for those of you that are illustrators out there, I remember back when I was in school and studying art, there's another sort of dot-oriented way of drawing. So I think that's maybe what some of you are talking about. So cool. All right, so I like that. I think that helps us out here. So speaking of the unseen, let's just kind of push these cards up a little bit more. I'm going to use a different deck for this one, and I'm going to ask, what is it that's not obvious that you should be tuning into potentially in this moment in time? By the way, thank you for folks that are gifting memberships and giving super stickers and super chat. You guys are awesome. And the brand new members, welcome. Let me just get through the reading and then I'll say a little hello to all of you. Okay, so what is it that is within reach but not obvious? It's exactly what I pulled for tomorrow, the Two of Swords reverse. You know, I'm going to reemphasize one more thing, because Spirit's saying, you already answered this, Nicholas. What I said at the end of my video was the most important piece, that little 1-minute video. I said, you know, you have to tune in. I edited this piece out because it would have put it over a minute, so now you're getting the extended version. Nobody can tell you what to do but you. That's what I kind of put in there. You and you alone decide your fate. She has like two different, like the comedy and drama faces here. And it's sort of like, who am I? Well, I can't tell you who you are. You know who you are and you know what you want to do. This card is saying no more people pleasing when it's reversed. So that's twice that it came up within the hour because I just did the reading. And it's saying what's unseen is what's within. You just have to kind of like make peace with who you are and where you're at. Judgment, by the way, is acceptance. Not like accepting yourself without prejudice, accepting the future, embracing the inevitable. And this is saying, I can't ignore the calling. You know, now is the time to answer the call. And if we also pull another card here, basically just committing to that. Okay? That's pretty cool, folks, what I see so far. So let me see here if there's any questions that any of you have. Let's see. What I'm going to do right now, perhaps, and we'll end with this. I'll do one for I know you guys like when I do the elements, right? So I'll do a quick elemental check-in, and then we'll end with that. And I feel like that's just enough. Plus, I had a long week, and I'm sure some of you did too, so I want to keep this kind of short. So we're going to do one for each of the elements. And just have some fun. Again, it's kind of nice to do lives. I do a lot of live premieres, but I love lives. That's kind of my comfort zone, so this is nice to show up. All right, let's give a quick shuffle and take a look at fire, earth, air, and water, and then we'll call it a night and get some rest and usher in the weekend. Fire, earth, air, and water. It's all pretty good, I have to say, especially these three. So let's talk about fire first. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What you're being asked to focus on in this moment in time, particularly in the 777 portal, is relationships, core relationships. So for those of you that already have a really deep connection to someone, this can be a deepening of that relationship. If you want to do any inner child healing, yes, that's also what this card is about. If you're looking for a more significant connection in your life that isn't yet there, this card is about envisioning that, starting to call that in and say, I'm committed to holding space and creating some sort of like an opening and welcome mat almost for this energy. It's also a card to connect with parents or children. It's basically all love and relationships. So there's a big energy on that, including, like I said, the relationship with yourself, that inner child. But people are coming through the strongest for my fire signs. So take some time this weekend and spend it with the people you love. Take care of yourself, open up your heart, heal your heart. That's the focus. Good messages for Aries, Leo, and Sag. Moving now from fire to earth, we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Ostensibly one of the best cards that I could pull. I mean, the world is also good, and I have that here in the spread, but I love the star. So a deepening of your spiritual connection, stepping into the spotlight, not apologizing, just really being yourself. The star is also the realization of the hermit. because the Hermit holds the lantern, which represents insight, but also represents the future true self. Sometimes we have to hide who we are because friends, family, society, or even ourselves, we don't have the capacity to shine. We're just afraid of doing it. And this is really stepping away from the fear and stepping into the possibilities. It's also unlimited. It's like a credit card without limits. The universe is asking you to break through that glass ceiling of imagination and just say, I wonder how far I can go. Let the universe show you the cap on things, the potential, the roof. Don't try to set it yourself. I think that's the one piece of advice I could give to Earth. And I think it's important because Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you want tangible stuff. You're Earth-oriented, you're resource-oriented, and this is very sky-oriented and very fire because it's the star, the sun. So it would be saying you've got to go beyond what's in front of you, beyond what's obvious. Moving on to my air signs. This, of all the elements here, you're the only ones that are kind of really focusing on recalibrating. Some of you have been through a moment or two here. The Five of Cups is still in the energy of creation. We can see that. And not only that, but typically we have two cups. They're usually right behind the person. There could be a hidden friend, a hidden ally, hidden opportunity, but you're not seeing it because you're focusing on, well, that didn't happen and this didn't happen and why isn't this going on? And it's saying, okay, it's because the energy is no longer the best kind of like recipient. You can input it in a better place. And so once you shift and recalibrate, then like the world is your oyster. So this is really just about seeing the two cups that are within reach, which could be joy, which could be partnership, which could be ideas, which could also be someone saying, I like what you have to offer, exactly what you've been saying, maybe hasn't been existing. So looking in new directions, opening up to new opportunities, allowing your heart to believe that something good can happen. Disbelief can very much hold you back from manifestation. So believe, explore, expand, look in different directions, all of those things. And it's okay to have had some disappointments or some redirection. I don't really believe so much in rejection, more redirection. So now let's move on to water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We have the world, but the world is upside down. So with the world card in reverse, you could be asking to change. Someone could say, I need you to change this up. I need you to go over here. There could be an unexpected opportunity that carries with it a move or a major growth opportunity, but it's sort of like when you have to move in with somebody. It's getting used to all of it. It's almost too much at once. Slow down, find your footing. This is very much the 777 portal energy. So I feel like water, you just have to kind of like flow with it rather than against it and see where it takes you. All right. And this is also kind of like what I was talking about with the air signs, about looking at it from different perspectives or angles. And when I was, getting this card, it was about moving back a little bit so things can come into focus. Otherwise, it might be hard to see the big picture. And that's the messages for everybody. And when we look at it all together, because we're all kind of like in this, what I can see here is increased focus on relationships, inner child, and making connections, stepping into the spotlight, seeing each and every step of the road as informing your future success and not beating yourself up for any missteps. And then when the good news happens, when the opportunities happen, don't fight it, go with it, see where it takes you. It's still a story that we can all connect to, but each sign is kind of amplified under one of these. So I hope that helps. This was fun. I need to do this a little bit more often, right? I'm going to take a couple moments here just to say hi to everybody. By the way, if you don't follow me on social media, please do. I did announce this on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and I forget where else, but yes, and even here on the community tab. So please do subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss stuff. That way also I know you enjoy this. Okay, I want to say thanks to everybody. By the way, I'm going to be live on Sunday, so if you like this and it's your first time here and you just clicked on the link randomly, show up on Sunday. We do it even more, and I do it for about an hour and a half, so there'll be more to talk about then. All right, give me just a moment here and I'm going to give some gratitude. But thanks to all the new folks that showed up. Thanks to everybody that's been here for a while, and I hope you like this. Okay, so I am trying to find the tab. Here it is. So we got a few new members. Welcome, Christy. Good to have you here. Welcome, Jennifer and Megan. Glad all of you are here, and I think somebody gifted them today as well. There was one that was gifted. So Lulia, good to see you as well. Thanks for gifting that. All right, I want to say thanks to the folks that also gave with a super sticker or super chat. And super sticker, super chat, what do we have today? We have a few. Thank you so much. Amitabha, great to see you. Lexi, my tricky Juan, Zanib, and Brianna. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Everybody else, just thanks for hanging out a little bit while you were having dinner or breakfast, depending on what side of the world you're on. It was really nice to see you all. Okay, that's it for tonight. I do appreciate your presence here. Wishing you much love and light. Take a look at the one card reading for tomorrow because it was connected to what we talked about today, and show up on Sunday if you can. And we just finished this week Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So those readings for August are up. All of them are up for July. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.